Live from the studios at the University of Kansas, you are watching KUJH-TV News.
The nation's 41st president now lies in state in Washington, D.C. We'll tell you what President Trump has to say on Twitter and when the public can pay their respects. Plus, one local art center receives a massive grant where you can go for some sewing and arts classes. And more construction around Lawrence while one highway exit is being removed right now, how you'll have to adjust your commute. Good afternoon and thanks for watching KUJH News. I'm Malik Jackson. Former President George H.W. Bush died Friday at 94 years old, and today he made his final journey to Washington, D.C. Governor Jeff Colyer ordered all state offices to close Wednesday, and Wichita State's campus will close in honor of Bush. President Bush's casket boarded Special Air Mission 41 this morning from the ceremony in Houston. Bush will lie in state in the rotunda until Wednesday morning for a memorial service with family and friends. The public is able to pay their respects from 7:30 this evening until 8:45 tomorrow morning. The 41st president made it clear he wanted President Trump present at the funeral. He tweeted, "Looking forward to being with the Bush family to pay my respects to President George H.W. Bush." Here on the KU campus, we have a personal connection to the late president. Bill Lacey is the director of the Dole Institute of Politics. He also was a strategist on Bush's 1988 and 1992 campaigns.
On both sides of the aisle, and I guess the one thing that I would love for people to know about President Bush and to learn from him is the ability to be respectful of your political opponents, not to treat them like enemies, because we're all in this together and we all have to try to solve it together.
Most people may only know Bush as the 41st president or the father of George W. Bush, but his impact on the nation began before he was in office. After the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941, Bush enlisted in the Navy. That following summer, he was first deployed in 1943, making him one of the youngest naval pilots in U.S. history at the time. After 58 missions, Bush was honorably discharged from service. He graduated from Yale in 1948 and became a successful oil businessman before moving to politics in the early 60s. Bush married his wife, the late Barbara Bush, in 1945. They are survived by 6 children and 14 grandchildren. And this morning you probably woke up with a light layer of snow on your cars and some cold temperatures. Let's check in with weather anchor Warren Sears. Warren, can you tell us how long this is going to last and what to expect for tomorrow?
Yeah, hey Malik, and good afternoon everybody. Wow, kind of a gloomy day out there today, and we did see a little bit of light snow across the area, and those flurries are going to continue on through the afternoon. As actually we're starting to see some scattered flurries out there right now. It's cold. I mean, that wind is picking up 15 to 20 miles per hour, so bringing those wind chill temperatures down to the upper teens. So very chilly across the area today. That's going to persist on into tomorrow as well. Let's look regionally here. As you can see, us just up here in Lawrence, Kansas, around 30 degrees. Some nice warmer conditions down to the south. But that cold front that came through the past few days actually has tamed everything down in North Texas as well. So they're seeing some chilly conditions for them down there. So that drought monitor that we've been tracking all semester, we are doing very well here in northeastern Kansas, where we saw that exceptional drought just even a month or two ago, now downgraded to that abnormally dry. We continue to pick up some precipitation. So what we can expect here, cold weather early on in the week. We will see a midweek warm-up with some sunshine, and I'm tracking our next system, so I'll have a much more detailed forecast for you coming up.
The debate about who will fund the Queens Road renovation project comes to a close tomorrow at the City Commission meeting. KUJH News reporter Grant DeMar says people in the area are still resisting.
Homeowners in the area are set to pay for the $5 million Queens Road project. 251 homeowners signed a protest petition against new special tax districts. One of those people is Linda Weinmaster, and for her, the road isn't worth the money.
And our assessment's over $4,400 for that road, and we live on a road that goes straight to 6th Street. So we're not denied access to 6th Street, and Queens Road, there's no business on it. It's a road to nowhere.
The petition gained the support of 36% of property owners in the area. According to state law, it fell short of the 51% required to prevent the new tax districts to fund the project. City Commissioner Matthew Herbert says that the renovation is long overdue. He says, all along the way, the planning department collected no protest agreements from each neighborhood as it was platted. These agreements were made known to buyers as they purchased their homes. While I understand the frustration of neighbors who do not desire to face an additional tax burden, the City Commission has held 2 separate public votes on this matter already. Construction on Queens Road will begin next year. In Lawrence, Grant DeMars, KUJH News.
On the southwest side, don't try to get on or off K10 on Castell Drive anymore. KDOT started ripping out asphalt and concrete today. They said the intersection averaged 10 accidents a year for the last few years, even with access only available to westbound drivers. The removal means that people wishing to get on or off K10 near there will have to exit at Iowa Street or go all the way to Wakarusa. Federal funding for the arts remains strong in Lawrence despite threats by President Trump last year to defund the NEA and National Endowment for the Humanities. KUJH News reporter Jasmine Keys is live at Prestige Studio in West Lawrence. Jasmine, what are local studios doing to keep their kids engaged?
Malik, Catherine Bell here at Prestige Studios knew something needed to be done. Through her business, she was able to keep kids and their parents alive in the arts.
Candace Mickle recently moved to Lawrence from New Jersey. She was desperate to find sewing classes for her daughter until she heard about Catherine Bell and her sewing classes. She enrolled her and it immediately changed their lives for the best.
I really wanted to be on one, and my parents didn't really know they could find one in Lawrence, and they did, and this was the place.
When I met Catherine, I was so excited, and Gia and her just clicked. She's fantastic. She is a great role model and someone that Gia really loves to come and see and talk to besides just her mom.
Catherine Bell owns So Simple Sewing in West Lawrence. She says teaching sewing to young kids has always been her passion.
I think me being so young and offering so many, different skills, owning my own business to little girls, I feel like it shows them that you have the opportunity to do the same and much more.
Mickle says the sewing classes ease them into a new school and community.
It's really helped her not only just with her own personal self-esteem, and she feels good when she comes to the class, she's relaxed, she's happy, she's learning, and I think it also helps her in school too because she's learning about measurement. It's right along with math. She's in 3rd grade right now, and I can see it's making a difference.
Bell says she hopes her passion for sewing and providing something so simple can go a long way for kids and their parents.
The Lawrence Arts Center is also doing its part to keep arts alive. Earlier this year, they secured a $25,000 grant. It helps support professional development in math, science, arts, technology for classroom teachers and youth. Live in West Lawrence, Jasmine Keys, KUJH News.
Thanks, Jasmine. This past semester was the first official semester of the new merger of the Department of Theater and Dance. KUJH News reporter Cassidy Ragland is following that change. Cassidy, how's the transition working?
Malik, Theater and Dance each received an email announcing the planned merger. Former theater chair Dr. Nicole Hodges-Pursley noted several benefits of the transition, but perhaps the merger wasn't beneficial for everyone involved.
The mood is lighter than it has been in Robinson the past several years. Sophomore dance major Austin Panavong says he thinks it's because of the recent merger with theater.
Great, because that gives us a whole new range of resources to share, and the dance department being smaller, it's really nice to have assistance from the theater department.
Panavon is also a Lauren Kennedy trainee. They act as student leaders by going to faculty board meetings and running events. The theater department is sharing resources such as funding, costumes, set pieces, and locations. But to make the merger work, Dr. Hodges-Pursley says they would cut the previous university theater shows from 8 to 6 to make room for the university dance shows. Theater major and fellow Lauren Kennedy trainee Jake Wrights calls it unfair.
That I didn't get anything except my shows, or shows were taken away and opportunities were taken away.
The dance department had only 60 majors in the school and 4 full-time faculty members, so the options were merge or cease to exist. Wright says the theater swooped in to help.
I think it was a monetary thing rather than anything else. But I'm glad. I'd rather that we have a dance department still rather than the alternative is not having one.
Panavon writes are both hopeful that in the coming years the merger will continue to improve for both schools. Live from the newsroom, KUJH reporter Cassidy Ragland.
Next semester, Theater and Dance will put on 2 plays, an opera, and a dance show. Malik?
Thanks, Cassidy. Coming up next on KUJH News, one downtown Lawrence business has sold clothing since before President Abraham Lincoln was even elected into office. We'll tell you how they stay open year after year. That story and more up next, but first, Warren.
High pressure builds into the area midweek. What that means for you coming up.
Welcome back to KUJH News. Lawrence's famous landmark might be KU, but that's definitely not its oldest. Weaver's, the main department store in town, is outliving small businesses. KUJH reporter Courtney Johnson tells us how they keep their loyal customers.
Recent findings from Harvard show that youth voting went up by more than 40% in this year's midterm election. According to IOP's polling, the age group 18 and 29-year-olds say they will definitely vote in this year's upcoming election.
It was complicated.
One of the main reasons is the people that have worked here all those years.
Weaver's has been around for 161 years before Abraham Lincoln was president, which is older than Flowerny says Lawrence wouldn't be the same without KU, and without KU, there probably wouldn't be a Weaver's anymore. So congratulations to all their success. A child is dead and dozens of others hurt after a bus crash in Arkansas early this morning. The bus was driving a youth football team back to Memphis after playing in a championship game in Dallas over the weekend. The driver says she lost control of the bus, which caused it to swerve off the road and roll over. Weather does not appear to be a factor in the crash. Emergency crews airlifted 2 injured passengers to a nearby hospital. Arkansas's Children's Mercy Hospital is currently treating 20 victims. The Anchorage School District says students will head back to school December 10th regardless if they could get the green light. Schools in the district are on cleanup duty following Friday's earthquake, repairing damages to make the school safe for re-entry. Each school will be tagged green, amber, or red for safety levels. The school district's focus remains on safety, which is reopening as soon as possible. They will provide alternate locations for students who are still waiting on safe classrooms. Mother Nature hit a city in Illinois, continuing her latest streak of terrible storms. People within Taylorville, Illinois felt the effects of the tornado that hit their area this weekend. Winds from the tornado leveled homes and businesses and tore trees from their roots. There were 21 people taken to the hospital for storm-related injuries. Fortunately, there have been no deaths. The community started cleanup on the wreckage, hoping to rebuild their neighborhood.
Whoa, quite the entrance. Look at that. All right, well, happy Monday, everybody. It is quite cold out there, 30 degrees, but it feels like 19. We're seeing winds gusting up to 20, 25 miles per hour out there, and we are starting to see some scattered flurries across the area. Nothing that is going to accumulate, nothing that's going to ruin your evening, but keep in mind you might see a few snowflakes. So I'm geeking out over this satellite imagery here. This is crazy. GOES 16 satellite. You can see this wide, vast area of cloud coverage across the entire area that we've been really seeing these past few days. Because of that, we are seeing a little bit of some light snow, just very light snow, like I mentioned, that might continue on through the evening hours here. So if you see some light snow showers, don't be alarmed. We're really not going to drop off too much, though. Lows in the mid-20s tonight, and that's because we're going to see mostly cloudy skies. Those clouds do act like a little bit of a blanket overnight, so will keep us warm, relatively warm overnight tonight. So we have a midweek high pressure system that's going to build into the area. So essentially high pressure means we'll see mostly clear skies on Wednesday, so we'll see some sunshine, which is always great. Will allow us to warm up nicely midweek. I'm thinking temperatures in the upper 40s, right around 50 degrees, which I know doesn't sound too warm, but it'll definitely feel very nice and toasty considering what we've been seeing lately. Now, I do think we have a chance for a little bit of a clipper system. Look at this Thursday morning, 7 a.m. I think this little wintry mix possible for our area. Should be out of our area by lunchtime, so I'm not too worried about it, but we could see some rain-snow mix early in the day on Thursday. Tomorrow, 32 degrees. We'll see mostly cloudy skies. That high pressure builds in for your Wednesday. 47 degrees will be nice and warm, may even climb up closer to 50. Thursday, that wintry mix is present in the morning, only 30 degrees for your high on Thursday. As we head into the weekend, I don't think we're going to see any precipitation. There is quite the system that is down to the south for the weekend. I think it'll stay down south, though. We'll just be 30s for our highs through the weekend. And then Monday's kind of looking nice. We might have another little warm-up into the mid to upper 40s.
Alrighty, now sports. The Chiefs had a depleted roster, but they still managed to put up 40 points. What can you tell us?
That's right. Coming up after the break, how the Chiefs reacted to the release of Kareem Hunt. Plus, key plays from the basketball game on Saturday, so stay tuned. On Friday, TMZ released a video of Chiefs running back Kareem Hunt shoving and kicking a woman. The Chiefs immediately released Hunt and spent Sunday's game. After the video was released, the big question was how the Chiefs would react without Hunt, and honestly, the team held their ground. The Chiefs had 174 rushing yards on 30 carries, which is 54 yards above its season average. Kansas City defeated the Oakland Raiders with a final score of 40-33. And in breaking news, the Chiefs signed a one-year, $790,000 deal to bring Sharkhandrick West back to Kansas City. Next up, the Chiefs will play the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday in Arrowhead Stadium. Kickoff is set for noon. And K-State Hall of Fame coach Bill Snyder announced his retirement on Sunday afternoon. Snyder is 79 years old and was the K-State coach for 27 seasons with a record of 215, 117-1. He led the Wildcats to 19 bowl games. Snyder made a huge difference in turning the culture of K-State football. And senior LeGerald Vick played a major role in the KU win against Stanford this weekend, sending the game into overtime when he shot a three and tied the game 75-75. Vick hit 7 three-pointers in the game, had 5 assists, 1 rebound, and scored 27 points. 19 of his 27 points came in the final 13 minutes. The play that sent the game into OT was not exactly designed for LeGerald Vick. However, head coach Bill Self was not upset with his senior guard taking the shot.
When you look at our stats and we make 7 threes as a team, I got no problem with the guy that made all of them actually shooting it. So that's not an issue.
And Vick was named Big 12 Player of the Week, and despite his impressive stats in game, he has some very expressive reactions. He's obviously very involved in fan hype, and it's fun to see how he'll react after each play. Up next, Vick and the rest of the Jayhawks will be back in Allen Fieldhouse to take on Wofford tomorrow night at 7 p.m. And the new 2019 football head coach Les Miles announced the hiring of Chevis Jackson. Jackson spent the past 3 seasons mentoring the defensive backs at Ball State, and he will now do the same for KU. He played in the NFL for 4 seasons with Atlanta, Jacksonville, New England, Denver, and Carolina. Miles thinks that Jackson is one of the top coaches in the game, and tickets for the upcoming 2019 football season are now on sale. Junior distance runner Sharon Lokiti placed 3rd at the Sharon Collier Danville season opener in the women's 5,000-meter run with a time of 15:15:47. She shaved nearly 25 seconds off her previous school record set last year at the same meet. As you can see, the top 3 finishers in the race finished within 0.7 of a second, so a very close race. The Jayhawks track team will be back on January 18th to compete in the KU-KSU-WSU Triangular at Anschutz Sports Pavilion.
Well, that is very cool right there, Keely. Thanks for that segment. Imitation is the best form of flattery except when multiple 911 calls are made. A family in Texas recreated the infamous Christmas lights scene from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. They completed the decorations with a dummy of Clark Griswold hanging from the roof. People who saw the sun called the police and rushed to help the hanging figure. There's now a sign up and the family started explaining the decorations. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that is. That's
I just want to know what the people that were driving by actually thought.
I don't know.
I'm sure they were very concerned.
That is my favorite Christmas movie. I just want to throw that out there.
That is a good one.
It's great.
Oh, yeah.
It's a family tradition. We have to watch it every year. But
It
You know,
is,
great.
yeah.
All right, let's take one last look at that final forecast. You know, really, all in all, it's kind of a chilly forecast. Tomorrow especially, we have a midweek warm-up into the mid to upper 40s, maybe even close to 50 for your Wednesday. Another little clipper system for Thursday morning, possibly just some wintry mix. Nothing crazy. It's not going to impact us too much here in Lawrence. And then as we head into the weekend, temperatures just kind of in the low 30s. So all in all, you know, guys, it's just, I don't know. It's kind of, it's coming. It's winter.
It's winter.
Or
We
it's almost
expect
winter,
it.
I
We
guess.
expect
right?
it. We
So
expect
kind of a bummer, but you know, hey, maybe the upper 40s will feel like nice and warm.
Yeah.
Maybe
it's
it's
better than 30s.
Maybe we get a snow day, you know, finals week
Oh.
possibly. I like that.
What would they
idea.
do?
Cancel.
Cancel.
Can they do that?
Not even reschedule.
Okay, I just want to say this. This is our last show this
This.
semester. It's been an honor and a joy to stand up here and work with you guys.
Of course.
You know, great people, great professionals.
Fun
And I'm
times.
going to miss it. I'm going to miss
I know.
it.
You back next semester?
I'm back. Are you back?
I'm back.
Actually,
Last
I don't know. I don't
semester.
know if I'm back.
Hopefully
I
we're
hear I
all
got some
back. We'll
competition.
see.
I don't know. They may
Last
not let me.
semester, Last semester.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
last
I
semester.
know.
She's a
Are you
senior.
nervous?
I'm a little nervous.
Oh.
I know. I'm excited, nervous.
Just find your job. Come on, figure it
No,
out.
I need a job.
Figure it
I need
out.
a job, please.
Hire him.
And of course, we've also missed, Ksenia's not here today, but we've enjoyed working with her as well. Thanks for joining us all semester long, and we'll see you right back here next semester.